Hey, welcome back guys, General Tony here, coming back with a brand new Clash Royale episode. So for the first time ever, we have just hit the Legendary Arena, 3,000 plus trophies. We are currently inside of Arena 8. And for anyone wondering, we are level 8 inside of the game. So over the last couple of days, loads, and I mean loads of you have been asking me, Tony, what decks can we use? What are the best decks in the game to push high in trophies, to get into Arena 7 and even get into the Legendary Arena? So what I'm going to do for you in this episode, I am going to show you the 2 best decks, in my opinion, that this game has to offer. Now, you can use these decks at level 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, even level 11 and 12. So make sure you stay tuned and watch the entire video to learn a little bit about the game. Also, for anyone wondering, yes, we do have a giant chest and a magical chest, and I will be opening them very, very shortly. Maybe not in this episode. I don't think I'm going to open them in this episode, but as soon as we get a magical chest, guys, a super magical, I think I'm going to open them all at the exact same time to see which one has the best cards. So just before I forget, guys, we are doing another 14,000, that's $100 gem giveaway. This time it is going to be for 2 $50 gift cards. So all you need to do to enter it, it's very simple. Leave a like on this video to show some support to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to this channel right now to stay up to date with the giveaways and of course the winners, and enter the raffle link. That is the first link in the description box down below. Okay, so I'm going to keep it very, very simple inside of this episode. I was inside of Arena 4 last week, guys. Last week, at the start of last week, I was inside of Arena 4 using this deck. Now, I didn't have the Princess. I had the Spear Goblins inside of the Princess, but I was lucky enough to get a Princess inside of a free chest last week, guys. So that was absolutely awesome. So I decided to drop out the Spear Goblins and use this deck. Now, this deck got me to 2,700 trophies, but as soon as I got to 2,700 trophies, it just wouldn't get further than that. I'm not sure why. The deck just didn't have it in it. So what I done was I watched the entire Clash Royale tournament, and I realized Jason, I'm sure millions of you watched it, guys, Jason's deck was absolutely awesome. So what I done was I took Jason's deck and I took my first deck and I basically combined them both into one super deck, and this super deck has literally destroyed level 11s, level 10s, level 9s, level 8s, even level 7s of course, and I, as I said, am level 8 inside of the game. So we're going to demonstrate some of the absolute torture that this deck can cause to the opponents, guys. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get ourselves into a single replay. Let's just check the actual, the battle log here. You can see, look at the victories, guys, using the exact same deck. Victory after victory. And we've got a defeat there. We lost 3 trophies. We lost by 3 crowns there. But you can see there are a lot of victories here, guys. So obviously, inside of the 2,900 trophy range, the opponents inside of the game are a lot higher level than you. So it is harder to beat them, but using the correct deck, you should be able to clutch a couple of those victories. So we are currently going up against a level 8 player, guys, so this is going to be a very, very fair game. And this was actually the game. We've only just hit the Legends League. This is the first game. This was the game, sorry, that got me into the Legendary Arena. So what we're going to do is, we're going to start always by either chucking down Barbarians or chucking down some Giants. They're going to be like the tanks for us, and they're going to allow us to start off the main part of the raid. So we're going to go in with a Giant Barbarian on the left-hand side. The Barbs on the right are going to be able to cover their Barbs. We got the little Goblins, the little melee Goblins going in just behind. Gonna fireball those minions, and the Giant has arrived on their tower. Unfortunately, they have also sent a Hog Rider and some Barbarians onto my tower, and it looks like we are going to sustain a lot of damage. Now, obviously, we've just lost the crown, guys, but it is at this point inside of the game where you do not panic. You make sure you keep yourself together, guys. Give a little cry just to make them think that they're winning. I don't cry because I'm mad or I'm upset. I cry because, in my opinion, it's kind of like messing with their mind. If you cry, then they think they're winning. They think they're going to win. But in reality, guys, you're ready. You're ready to strike back. So always make sure you kind of mess with their mind. Send a few taunts over there. It's going to help you out a lot. So we got the Barbarians going down the double lanes once again. Going to go in with a Hog Rider and, of course, those melee Goblins. Now, he continuously decides to use these minions. So what I've done is I've brought in a free spell, dropped it on the minions and, of course, the tower. And, hey, presto, we have already taken down their tower. The Princess is a great way to take out any minion hordes, any Goblins, anything like that. The Hog Rider, although it reached my tower, not going to do an insane amount of damage. I definitely wasted a fireball there, though. And now I am in serious trouble. He's got 2 princesses down on the map doing multiple damage to both towers. But we're going to have to deal with the princess on the left-hand side because the left-hand side princess is almost taken down the tower. The Crown Tower, although it's getting hit by the Princess, it can sustain quite a lot of hit points. So it was at this point in the game, guys, where I realized I'm going to have to seriously think about my strategy. So I've used a free spell with those little melee goblins, and believe it or not, they took that right-hand side tower down to 1,000 hit points on their own. So it was pretty damn awesome. So I did realize that we are going to have to go for the 3-crown victory, and that's not a problem, guys. This deck is definitely capable of doing it. So this replay is literally a great example of how this deck can come back and literally destroy the enemy. So the free spell worked like an absolute charm there with the Hog Rider and of course the Giant duo, making sure that we can do some right damage to this guy. So my double Princess actually took out loads of the Barbarians, doing damage to their Princess now as well, and it looks like we have the upper hand. So we're going to have to deal with this Hog Rider. We're going to drop in some minions. They're going to take out the Hog Riders and, of course, the Goblins. And now we can start a full-scale attack on the enemy Crown Tower. So we're going to go in with the Giant in front of the Princess. The Minion Horde comes down on the left-hand side. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Gonna try and do the Hog Rider Giant free spell, guys. That is a great way to destroy the enemy tower, as you're about to see very shortly. So the Hog Rider has arrived, the Giant is about to arrive. We're going to drop down the free spell on the Barbarians and the Crown Tower, and it is literally game over. There is nothing that this guy can do. So it ended there. General Tony was the winner, and we got, of course, a triple crown victory inside of the Legends League. So just before I forget, guys, I would suggest to try out this deck first, because this deck, especially the Bomb Tower, is great in the lower arenas. I'm talking like Arena 4, 5, 6, maybe even the lower part of Arena 7. Now, of course, if you don't have the Princess, I would suggest swapping the Princess for the Spear Goblins. And if you don't have the Fireball, I would suggest swapping the Fireball for the arrows. Do not use the Rocket. Do not use the Goblin Barrel, guys. Stay away from those cards inside of this deck, as they don't work great. So if you are above, say, the 24-2500 trophy range, I would then suggest to try this deck out, or something very similar to this. Now this, as a level 8, has allowed me to get into the Legendary Arena, which means this must be a great deck. So just a quick overview of why the deck works so great and how it's going to allow you to actually get into the Legendary Arena. So with any deck, you need the fundamentals, you need offense, and you need defense. So every deck should have a split. You should literally share the offense and the defense inside of the deck to ensure that if they have any mortars, if they have maybe the double Prince duo, even if they have a P.E.K.K.A or a Golem, that you have something within your deck that can deal with that attack or deal with that sort of problem inside of the game. So the mortar is a problem. The Expo is a problem. Even the Ice Wizard can be a very big problem, and the Princess. So what cards do you have in your deck to ensure that you can counteract them and do a great counter attack? You see, that is why this deck literally works so damn well, because you've got the Fireball that can counteract any minions, it can do damage to Barbarians, it can do a little bit of damage to Crown Towers, take out the Princesses. You've got the free spell, which works absolutely beautifully with the Hog Rider. It even works with the Giant. It can even work with the minions. If they've got something like the 3 Musketeers down, they're about to reach your tower, you can drop a free spell, freeze the Musketeers, drop in the Minion Horde or even the 3 minions, and they can destroy those Musketeers in seconds. You've got the Princess, which is literally one of the best backup troop cards. She can take out Minion Hordes, she can do damage to Goblins. You've got the Barbarians and of course the Giant, as I said, which are great tanks inside of the game. You've then got your own Minion Horde, which can do damage to mortars. It can take out some of those bomb towers and other defenses. And then, of course, the finale, you have those little melee goblins, which are absolutely hilarious and do a great amount of damage when they're behind the Giant or even the Hog Riders. So just to finish off the episode, I'm sure there are many of you out there who would love to use this deck but don't quite have every single one of the cards required. So what we're going to do some other suggestions that you can use to fill in the card spaces. So this could work great for Arena 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. So the Fireball can be replaced with the arrows or the Zap spell. Do not replace the Fireball with the Rocket. That is out of the question. The free spell is extremely unique and literally cannot be replaced, guys. But in order to ensure that the deck is still strong, if you do not have a free spell, I would suggest using Archers, as they are a very cheap unit and can go behind the Giants and the Hog Riders, or Spear Goblins, one of those two. I would prefer to go with the Archers though. The Princess, if you do not have the Princess, which many don't, then I would suggest to use once again the Archers or the Spear Goblins. Barbarians, I'm sure everyone has Barbarians. Hog Rider, if you do not have a Hog Rider, then you can possibly use a Prince, You can use the Prince, you can use the Dark Prince, although if you have the Dark Prince, I'm sure you'll have the Hog Rider. Or you could even use a Balloon. A Balloon Giant combo is absolutely awesome as well. The only reason why I don't use the Balloon is because the Hog Rider is a little bit cheaper. If you don't have the Minion Horde, of course, you can use the Minions. It's going to be cheaper in Elixir. Everyone, I'm pretty sure, has the Giant, and I'm sure literally everyone has the Spear Goblin. So they are some great options that you have to change for different cards. Sorry guys, I meant the melee goblins, not the spear goblins. So that is basically the end of the episode. Don't forget to enter the giveaway, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and enter the raffle link in the description box down below. I will see you very shortly for the second episode in a few hours' time, guys. Hope you're having a great day. I love you all. Peace out.